All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the most recent calling that happened over this weekend at Manila. And that's going to be the whole entire focus of today's video. Now, spoiler warning, as you can see on the screen here, we will be talking about the meta breakdown and the top 8. But we will not be talking about who won the tournament, okay? And I do respectfully ask people who might be watching this, please do not say who won in the comment section below. For people like me who don't always get to watch the tournament right away on the weekend, you know, I usually, when you look at these like 8-hour tournaments, okay, like notice at the bottom left, guys, that's how I will link this in the comment section below for those who want to watch it in its entirety. This is just day 1. There's also a day 2. This is an 8-hour long video. Okay, now don't worry, my video today will be a very short video, at least by my standards. It'll probably be like a 15 to 20 minute video, but the video that I'm on right now using as a reference from the Flesh and Blood YouTube is a 8-hour long, almost 8-hour long video. So there are a lot of people out there like me who do not have much time on the weekends to do things like this, to watch, you know, entire tournaments. So with that in mind, again, please, I'm just asking that you please be respectful for the people who may not have seen it yet. Okay, and don't spoil who won is all I'm saying. But we will, you know, spoiler warning, though, we will be talking about the top 8. All right? Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. That's pretty much all we're going to be going over today. I'll have everything timestamped, like I already said. I'll have everything linked down in the comment section, any kind of relevant links. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please hit me up in the comment section below. Okay, all right, let's get into this, guys. First up, let's talk about representation. Actually, first up, we should talk about how many people were in this tournament. It had about a 225 or 227 player, actually, excuse me, I think it was exactly 226, right? Right in between the two numbers I just gave. I believe there were 226 players, at least if you add up all the characters on the screen right here, excuse me, if you add up every character on the screen right here, it should come up to be about 226, I believe. Someone help me out in the comment section below if I'm off on that. But hey, that's a great turnout, because I've seen turnouts in Flesh and Blood be much less than this. And that, I don't say that in a discouraging, disparaging way, but actually in an encouraging way. Because, okay, if we're starting to see numbers in the tournaments go up, that's a good thing, right? This calling had more players in it than certain nationals did, okay? So, and that's saying something like, okay, cool, that's a good turnout, right? And I do mention that, like, let me just say that up front. I mention it because that was a big concern of mine when I first got into Flesh and Blood, just me being honest with you guys. I like to see games that are thriving and that are prosperous and are doing well for all the right reasons. And in this game, one of my first concerns was like, okay, the tournament scene is very small in this game. Like a 200, for those who are not aware, for those who might, if you only play Flesh and Blood and you see a 225 player tournament, you might be thinking like, okay, the only bigger tournament than that is like Worlds or Nationals at like 450 to 550 players, right? It's like, okay, and that's a decent turnout too, 550. But honestly, that's really about every single weekend for a game like One Piece. I don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! They just had their big championship at the time you're recording this. I don't know enough about that game. But I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon have very large-scale tournaments, and I know Magic does as well. I don't know if Magic still does. I have not played Magic in many years, but I'm used to seeing tournaments in the thousands. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying that I go to them. I'm used to seeing tournament results in the thousands. Like currently in One Piece, right? That just happened. They had a... in fact, U.S. Nationals is going to be, I think it's a month away at the time you're recording this video for One Piece. We'll have to see how that goes, because they're doing an invite-only system this go-around, I believe, for the U.S. Nats. Because last year it was so crazy, they had over 2,000 players, and 1,000 other players wanted to get in. You know, it was a total madhouse. The same thing happened in Europe, where it's like, okay, 2,500 players. But I love to see that. As someone who creates content for a game, I was like, okay, this game is healthy, it's thriving, it's doing well. So one of my original first concerns getting into Flesh and Blood was like, whoa, I mean, I'm seeing nationals here that are under 100 players. You know, that was a big red flag for me at first. And I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. I'm just being honest. I'm just saying I'm just saying that, you know, a very serious concern that came to mind. So I preface all that, or I say all that to lead to this. Seeing a tournament like a calling at Manila here with 225 players in it, that is a good sign to me personally. Like, okay, cool. We're seeing growth. Excellent. I think there's also a tournament coming out, another calling coming to California very soon. Pasadena, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong with that in the comment section. I don't remember the exact place. And I'm hoping that turnout will be something even more than this, right? Because that's a good thing. That's what we want to see in the game. Now, Sorry about that little mini rant. And you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Let's just be respectful. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about some numbers here. Zen is the most represented, or Zen was the most represented hero in this tournament with 43. 43 different decks, right? Nu had 28, KO had 26, Prism 20, and Victor had 15. I do want to read the next line, and then we'll talk about the bottom, what is that? The bottom 13. Azalea had 12, Levia had 12, Enigma 12, Riptide 10, and Dash 9. I would say that these top 10 that I just read are probably the most meta decks out there currently. And I know what a lot of people are about to say, like, did you not see that Uzuri just won a championship with an incredibly talented pilot, by the way? I understand that. I'm not saying that a rogue deck cannot win. Do not misunderstand me. I've never said that a rogue deck cannot win. In fact, I bank on rogue decks winning. That's my thing. I am a jank building, I'm a jank deck builder, homebrew specialist, okay? So I'm all about playing the deck that no one thinks can win. And one of the things that drew me into Flesh and Blood was knowing that if I get good enough on my hero, wink, wink, down here, right, all the Viscerai mains unite, if I can get good enough on my hero and I have enough support within the game, like cards to use, I can win something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can win a big tournament potentially if I play well enough, if I see good enough matchups as well. That's another thing that doesn't get talked about enough, is seeing good matchups. No, I'm not trying to say it requires luck or anything, but sometimes luck is a very strong factor in your favor or against you, right? It can happen either way. That's just cards, right? That's just how it is. It is what it is. Okay, now, anyway. As far as that, now bringing all that back into picture here, I say all that to say that these top 10 decks, I would say, are probably the most consistent. Okay, yes, some are more consistent than others. For example, and into each matchup, there's a difference as well, right? Because we know Victor does very well into Zen, and that probably explains why Victor's at 15 when he probably normally wouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. You never know. Prism is just an incredibly consistent deck at 20. And Prism just does what she does, right? She's just the kind of deck that can do all kinds of different things. Azalea, there's always going to be some really very loyal Azalea and Levia players out there. Nu is becoming like a very powerful assassin in the current format. Enigma, I would say Enigma and Prism are both the same kind of illusionist players, of course. And then Riptide and Azalea with the Ranger stuff going on. There's probably a lot of bleed over there, and now you can just kind of pick which one you prefer. But yeah, other than that, everything else seems like it's a little bit lacking. Guys, I don't know why only one Viscerai. Like, how is there not like 25 Viscerais? Am I right, guys? I'm just kidding. I know. I'm waiting for the day. Us Rune Blades are about to have our day back in the sun, right? With Viscerai getting some support from the new Rosetta set coming out very soon. I think it's coming out in about a month and a half or so. Actually, very soon if you think about it. Okay. Other than that, there is one of Olympia, 5, 2 for Teklovas, and that's surprising to me. I always expect there to be like 1 or 2 of every one of these, but Teklovasan with 2, we'll take it every time. 2 Max Nitro, 2 Rhinar, 3 Kasai, 3 Vinset, 3 Dash IO, 4 of Bolton, 5 Uzuri, 5 of Dorinthia. That surprises me. I think I'm going to work on a Dorinthia video soon. And I'm talking Hatchet's Dorinthia. I don't know, actually. Should I try the Dawnblade one? Okay, let me not. That's for a whole nother time. I'm just going to say this. Excuse me. I just think that Dorinthia is like a very strong deck, but at the same time, it might struggle into some of these newer matchups from Part the Mistveil. I have not spent enough time messing with Dorinthia since the matchup between Arthur and Max Klein a long time ago. Okay. But other than that, guys, you see it on the screen here. Not too much to talk about. If I missed anything, or if y'all want to talk about something in particular in the comment section, please, start up the conversation. I'll chime in as soon as I can. Now, one more thing I want to look at is, because let me say this: the bigger the tournament, the more random different decks you're going to see at it, right? That's why we see 1-5, we see 1 Olympia, we see one of like everything on here, right? There are 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 decks represented out of a possible how many? I think there's like what. Is there like 27 or 28? I don't actually know. Please don't quote me on that. I haven't actually counted how many different. I guess we can count right now. Why not? I've got it up right now. I've been looking at the stats and stuff. Let's go to heroes. Y'all bear with me for just a second as I count all these up. I'm not going to count the new ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 on a row. So it'll be 10, 20. And then on this bottom row, there are 9. So 29 minus 4, there's 25, right? Because I took out the 4 like Acilio. I took out the 4, Aurora, Acilio, Florian, all the new ones. Oh, it says right here there's 32. How is that possible? Is it including these? Hang on. 5, 10. No, there were 11 on the top row. There's the math, guys. Incredible math, I know. Okay, so it was 11, 22, and then plus 9. That still doesn't. Oh, plus 10. Guys, that is too funny. Everyone's going to be like, wow, this guy and his math. I promise I'm better at math than that, but at the same time, again, I'm trying to do this all like right on the spot. So there's 32. Let's subtract 4 from that. There's 28 possible heroes. So I was close. I think I said there were like 27 or 28, right? Well, seeing on here, whoopsies, 5, 10, 15, 23. So only 5 heroes not really seen in here. I don't see a Betsy. I'm not going to look up all the others, but I think it's like Betsy, Bravo, and then a few others. Whatever the case is, not a bad representation, right? We're seeing a lot of different heroes on this meta breakdown. However, now let's talk about the actual top decks in the format, because this doesn't tell us where all these decks placed, right? Now we're going to look at the top 8. This is what the top 8 looked like. I will not be showing who won the tournament. Like I said, I do not want to do any spoilers like that. I want to keep that for people to watch who haven't seen it yet, who don't want it spoiled. But this is what the top 8 looked like. So this does give a very strong idea. You know what I'd really like to see is the top 32. That I personally, okay, I'm going to say it like this. Actually, let me say top 16. Because I was going to say at a 500-player tournament, I would like to see the top 32. At a 250-player tournament, I'd like to see the top 16. Because I feel like that gives a very accurate representation for how well a tournament is doing, right? Excuse me, not how well a tournament is doing, how well each hero is doing in the tournament. But as you can see here, out of the 8 spots, 5 were Zen, 1 new, 1 dash, and 1 KO. So while there were tons of prisms, while there were tons of, let's go back to it real quick now that we've seen this. Okay. Even though there were lots and lots of news represented, only 1 made it through to the top 8, only 1 KO, and then only 1 dash, right? There were no prisms, there were no victors, no azaleas, levias, enigmas, or riptides. So I would still say that, and again, I'm trying not to spoil what happened because I do know who won. I don't want to say that Zen is just like, just the best deck in the format because, hey, like I said, a while back now, there was an Uzuri deck that won a championship, okay, with a very talented pilot, okay. Again, I'm trying my best not to spoil things, but at the same time, it's probably too late. Whatever. Okay, long story short, I think Zen is probably the best deck in the format, as it is the most consistent currently. That's just my personal opinion. Your mileage may vary, right? You might have a differing opinion, but I think Zen is doing very, very well currently. And I know that's obvious, and this is after the bans, restrictions, and nerfs, or whatever you want to call them, that happened to Zen. So I do think that really says how strong the deck actually was before the bans happened. Unfortunately, I started my channel right before the bans kind of happened, so I didn't have a chance to talk about that much, and I might revisit it in the future talking about it. But I do feel like that slight nerf they did was able to rein back, Zen just a little bit, ever so slightly, to make the format a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fair. All right, well, that's it, guys. Like I said, this is like the shortest video ever by my standards. A video under 20 minutes. I think we're on 14 minutes right now. If I missed out on anything, please tell me in the comment section below. I just want to say that I'm very disappointed that there were not more Viscerai that there are not more Viscerai mains out there. I'm just kidding. But no, I can't wait to see this hero get some more love from Rosetta and hopefully take him to the next level so we can start seeing him, a little bit more closer to the middle of the pack, if not on top of the game. Tech Levassan as well. This character, this hero has a special place like in my heart because I really love how he goes like mech suit mode and just gets bigger and bigger. I'd like to see more representation from him. Huge fan of Dorinthia. I love the Hatchets build. I just think it's so interesting with the Valiant Dynamos. I just think it is so cool how that works. Big fan of that. I'll talk more about that in a later video. Riptide starting to make some waves again. Good stuff here. Prism. This is one of the heroes that got me into the game. No Katsu. That was another hero that's not on here because why even run Katsu at this point when you have Zen? And I don't say that in a disrespectful way, guys. Katsu was a hero that I really, really enjoyed. But he can just play every single card that Katsu can other than specialization cards and then plus Mystic cards. But yeah, Viscerai, Teklovasan, Dorinthia. I'm keeping my eye on these. I really can't wait to see what happens. And hey, where do you guys think Aurora and Florian and Ocilio and what's her name? It starts with like a... It's like a crazy name with a V. I can't remember her name. Verdance. How do y'all think they're going to match up once they come out, guys? Any early predictions on those? Are we going to see the entire tournament get overflowed with Auroras, Verdance, and like Ocilios? Or maybe some Florians? Who knows? Maybe some Viscerais? Because it'll be like... It's going to be like uncharted territory, basically. Or do you think that Zen, Nu, and like Enigma from Part of Mistveil will still just be doing very well? Maybe I should word it like that. How do you think this is going to go, guys? I'm just yapping at this point. Bear with me. I'm about to end the video. Don't worry. But once Rosetta comes out, what kind of predictions do y'all have? Because Runeblades, like Wizards are different. Wizards are like their entire own animal. We already know how like a good KO is a good KO, right? But do you guys see one of the new Runeblades taking over the format the way Zen did? Or is Zen going to stay dominant for a while? What do you guys think? Same question with Nu. Same question with KO. Same question with Prism. Do you think that some of these heroes are just going to stay super relevant? Because I will say this. Because of like the nature of Runeblades, especially Runeblades that use Rune Chants, like how Florian will probably use and how Viscerai uses, it's like one Arcane Barrier and now nothing changes in my entire plan. But we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see when new cards come out. We don't know what all's been spoiled yet. All right, I'm done, guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.